Hey y'all, thanks for watching. So tonight I want to talk about something that's important to the state of Florida and beyond the state of Florida, the world, and to all of its inhabitants. And that's fresh water. Fresh water. And the context of that in this video is going to be what it has to do with the Nestle company coming in here to pump out fresh water out of our springs in the state of Florida and bottle it for sale. Now, how does this work? Well, the springs in question are the Jenny Springs from High Springs, Florida, and they are owned by a company called the Seven Springs Company. And they have a deal with Nestle for Nestle to pump the water out for their bottled water company or bottled water division. Now, last year, worldwide, Nestle made $7.7 billion for bottled water alone. That's a lot. Um, they're not releasing how much they're planning on paying the Seven Springs Company to be able to take the water out and to bottle it, but what they want to do is take out the maximum that Seven Springs is allowed to pump according to the state and their permit, which is 1.2 million gallons of fresh water a day. Now, how much does this cost, you ask? Well, amazingly, only a one-time annual payment of $115 to the company for the rights to pump the water. That doesn't seem right. Not what I was taught about supply and demand, especially of a precious and national resource like fresh water. That doesn't seem to be the going rate. $115 annually for 1.2 million gallons daily. Huh. Why is this really important? This is a business transaction, right? You know, as long as it's on the up and up and everything's being regulated properly. Well, let's look into that. If you go into the history of Nestle, most recently their controversies involve San Bernardino National Forest, where they're taking water out of the Strawberry River watershed, I believe it's called. Um, California doesn't have regulations against stealing their fresh water, bottling it, and selling it. So for 27 years, Nestle's been effectively stealing millions upon millions upon millions of gallons of water. The original company that had the rights to pump the water out of San Bernardino was called the Arrowhead Company. They got the permit in 1988 to pump that water, to pump it out and bottle it. Nestle acquired them in 1992, and until 2015, for 27 years, they went completely unreviewed for their permit. And in that time, their permit, which was only for 8.5 million gallons annually, that's a year, Nestle felt it clearly within their rights to take 62.5 million. It's almost 10 times the amount. Almost 10 times the amount that they were legally permitted to take. And they stole. And now you have this economic disaster that, of course, Nestle claims has nothing to do with them. So you bring it back to Florida. You say, how does this affect us? And why should what happened in California, matter to what we do here in Florida? Well, if we have those same problems with them taking more than they're supposed to, which Jenny Springs, by the way, has that 1.2 million gallons daily they're allowed to pump, and they've been pumping water out at less than a quarter of that rate since they've had operation of those springs. And that being said, different agencies in the state of Florida have done reviews of the Santa Fe River and surrounding springs that the river level's low, the springs levels are low, the aquifer level is low, to the point that it needs serious action to recover the aquifers here in the state of Florida. Serious action. That's how low they are. And instead, Seven Springs Company got somebody else to do their own their own independent research and evaluation has said at the most, if they take this 1.2 million a day, it'll only go down maybe an inch, even though every other state operated survey of the situation says that we're at critical levels. We're low, historically low. Now, I was reading an article on NPR online about a gentleman named Bob Knight who, during this article, he's with one of the directors of one of the institutes that do these studies for the state, and he was saying that whenever it comes to Nestle and their responsibility to the state of Florida and to the people and the rights to a precious resource, he said that they have the financial resources to do that. Now, that's real cute. I wonder if Mr. Knight's ever heard the expression that it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission. Because sure, that's what'll happen. Nestle will take more than they're supposed to, like they did in California. And what'll happen? They'll get fined. And then they'll say, here, take some of this water or some of this money that we got from taking your water and selling it out of state. Here, take some of this money. Guess what, folks? You can't drink money. You can't. Now, the absurdity of all this blows my mind. You're going to take the word of the corporations, the people making all the money. Go back, look at, what's his name, Peter Brobeck, whatever the heck, the former CEO of Nestle, who said, he gets misquoted all the time in memes saying that he said that water's not a basic human right. What he actually said was, the one opinion, which I think is extreme, is represented by the NGOs, who bang on about declaring water a public right. That means that as a human being, you should have a right to water. That's an extreme solution. An extreme solution that organisms that require water to live, have a right to that life necessary element. That's like saying people don't need oxygen to live. And again, these are the people who pay for these studies that say, oh no, it's only going to go down an inch. It's not going to hurt nothing. You go back to California, the people who had the regulations there said, hey, y'all been stealing this stuff for 27 years. Unregulated. Hey, look, man, we're going to have to come at you with some new offer. How about a 3-year deal where you only pump water out whenever we're not low on water? Right now, we're low on water. And Nestle said, we'll take a look at your offer. Offer. The state made an offer to a company stealing a natural resource from its citizens. Cowards. That's all I can say. Cowards. I hope that doesn't embed itself here in Florida. Cowardice. Sit there and kowtow to huge corporations. Take what's not theirs. Come in from out of state, take our resources, sell them to other people for less than pennies on the dollar. Less than pennies on the dollar. It's insulting. Anyways, guys, it's just my opinion. Please like, subscribe, share, and again, if you hated this video, you know what to do. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you.